Hi, besties. Hello. I'm so glad you attended today's session too because, it's very important to stay on track with our sessions and to always look for the help you can always get. Today, I actually have a very, very special guest, Mr. Flappy.
Hi guys.
Mr. Flappy, I am so glad you decided to join us on today's session. Bestie over here truly needed some guidance other than mine, and so getting an expert's opinion is very important during our sessions. So, first of all, how are you today, Mr. Flappy?
I'm fine, thank you. I hope all the besties are doing great as well.
Me too. So, Mr. Flappy, Bestie has been going through some stuff. I mean, from toxic friends to toxic spouses to a toxic dog even. Why do people tend to attract toxic people or toxic things? Like, what makes Bestie always choose the toxic option?
That's how life goes. There is never gonna be very good people and very bad people. It's about how people deceive each other into thinking they're great people, but in reality they're just using them. That's why you should always be careful when choosing your friends and stuff like that.
Yeah, but you can never know if a person is good or not until you actually live with them or go through life with them. So we can't really be sure. And I mean, some people get fooled once, like with a toxic friend or a toxic partner, and then they learn their lesson. But Bestie over here, each session, they come with a different toxic thing in their life. Why?
Well, that's probably because they're desperate, because they have been betrayed, and that's why they feel like they want something. And so they might not be very careful, because that's life. You never, like you said, you never know if someone is really good or bad.
So you mean because they get desperate to find friends or partners, they often choose the wrong people to be friends with and partners with?
Sometimes, yes.
Sometimes. What about other times? Can
Well,
we say it's luck, or is it really about not reading the signs of a toxic person?
yes, well, it depends on a lot of things, like how the person treats you, how the person treats other people, and where you found that person. Like, also, the environment affects people and stuff.
How can I know if a certain behavior or certain things they do is toxic?
That is something you build through, well, pretty much life. There will always be toxic people in your life, in your path, but you should always try to overcome them until you find someone real, because that's life and that's how you build your knowledge.
You mean through life experience. But what if I don't know if this certain action is toxic or not? For example, in Bestie's case, their partner was trash, basically trash. Any person outside the relationship can see that their partner is trash. But Bestie thought that this is normal behavior, lying to each other, hiding things from each other. Bestie thought it's normal behavior. How do we know if this behavior is normal or if it's toxic?
You see, it depends, because sometimes friends lie to each other like small lies, nothing really important, but when they keep doing it over and over and it's like something normal, then that might mean that's a red flag and that this friend is truly lying to you and not hoping the best for you.
So you're saying we need to do our research to know what signs are toxic and what signs are not?
You don't need to do any research. You just need to give it a shot, and from the experience, whether he was a good friend or not, you should learn from it.
But how do I know if this friend is good or not? For example, I could find this friend really good, and then another person like my mother or my brother would tell me that this friend is trash. So maybe I need to look up signs. You know, the internet is full of research about signs and red flags and all of those things. Are we required to do this research, or should we just, let life teach us through the experiences, or maybe both?
You see, sometimes you do need to do your research, but the most important thing is to follow your guts, because this is the most important thing that will always stay with you in life, and you build it through experiences, meaning you might find a bad friend, then two, then three, but eventually you'll start learning and you'll start realizing more signs, and you'll start seeing that you're noticing more things. So you're like, oh wait, that thing I used to be good, but now I see that it's really bad. And eventually you keep doing this until you find someone that is, well, a real friend. Now that also means real friends can do bad things, but some, like all friends,
People do mistakes, and we
yes,
need to forgive them. And we
yes.
need to know the difference between a mistake and a toxic trait.
You see, the most important thing is when things get serious. When your friend is with you in like hardship, that's when you know he is a real one.
True.
But when your friends like ditches you when you like need money or you're like feeling desperate, that's when you know that's a red flag and that he's not a real friend. And that's also something. Some people are really smart at deceiving, and that's why you should always follow your gut.
Thank you so much, Mr. Flappy. Did you hear that, Bestie? I got Mr. Flappy here today because he has some really insightful. It's because he has some really insightful information for you, and he will give you a deeper meaning to the issues I discussed with you. Now, remember I played with you before a word association game? Today I will play it with Mr. Flappy to show you how it can differ from one person to another, and how the way you think is a bit sad compared to what a normal animal would feel like or think. Mr. Flappy, do you know what the word association game is?
Not really.
So I say a word, and the first word or thing that crosses your mind after you hear the word I said is the thing or word you associate with what I said, or you connect with what I said.
I see.
So, like I just told Bestie over here, the reason we are playing this game is to show Bestie that it, from an animal to an animal, it differs how we associate certain things with words, and how Bestie is affected by their past and their toxic past. So the way they connect words together is just not healthy.
Yeah, that sometimes happens. When someone has a rough past, they start thinking in a negative way sometimes because they feel really sad and depressed, and so their mind is like not the best way of thinking because they have been betrayed a lot.
Exactly, and they went through many negative experiences a lot, so they end up, not thinking in a healthy way. Okay, so are you ready?
Yes.
3, 2, 1, sleep.
Bedroom.
Okay, so you associate sleep. The first thing that crossed your mind was bedroom.
No, wait. Actually, the first thing was a pillow.
The moment I said sleep, the thing that crossed your mind is a pillow.
Yes.
Can you tell us more about why you associated pillow with sleep?
Because you sleep on a pillow. I mean, that's obvious.
I mean, see, this is very normal, very typical behavior. Some people might associate sleep, like the first thing that crosses their mind with sleep is escape. Like they sleep to escape the real life. So this is really a healthy way of thinking. It's the normal way of thinking. Sleep equal pillow because I sleep on the pillow. Okay.
But I totally get that way of thinking. Sometimes life puts a lot of stress on you that you feel like when you sleep, you pretty much die and you feel like, oh my god, I'm relieved.
Yes. Anyway, let's move to word number 2. Butterfly.
Insect.
Butterfly, you associated with insect?
Yes.
You see, Bestie over here, or another patient too, associated butterfly with freedom. Or maybe that was me. No, maybe I associated it with wings because the first thing we see in a butterfly is the butterfly's wings. But I know people that associate butterfly with freedom because the butterfly starts in the, I do not remember the word, maybe a cocoon or something like that. And as a ugly caterpillar, and eventually goes out into nature as a beautiful butterfly. So they consider this escape in, escaping your confinement and flying away wherever you want. That butterflies resemble freedom.
That's actually not a very bad way of thinking about it because they do realize that it starts on a shell, like it does not have its freedom, then it's ugly, meaning it lives life to its worst, and then it starts flying, meaning you have to go through the entire life of hardship for you to become free.
Exactly. And it also shows that sometimes you can think that you're ugly or you're not very beautiful, but that would be only because you are at a certain stage in or level in life, and then your chance will come for you to grow and develop into this beautiful butterfly or basically beautiful creature.
Yes.
Okay, so word number 3. Word number 3. Word number 3. Toxic.
Games.
That's the first thing that crossed your mind?
Yes.
I can tell you are a gamer bear then.
I'm not a bear.
Bird.
Yes.
Sorry, my bad. I am so into being a bear. I forgot to pronounce bird correctly.
I can definitely see that, by the way.
I'm sorry. My apologies. So my apologies. So I can see that you are a gamer bird.
Yes.
So why did you associate toxic with the word games?
Because when you play games, sometimes you play with other people. And when you play with other people, you see that people, when they play games, they're toxic. They're not the best people. And so that's the first thing that crossed my mind. Like, there are a lot of bad people out there that they make fun, but by not playing the game, but by being toxic to other players.
Bullying other players.
Pretty much.
Yeah, it's a very common global experience. Like, all animal gamers experience this kind of toxicity in games and even in videos and in everything. There's always toxic, hateful, bullying people.
But you see, when someone, see, the mindset that I feel like I should have when someone is toxic to me is that when someone is toxic to me, he had enough time, enough free time to waste it on me and to say some random stuff that does not affect me or himself. And so, with this mindset, you feel like you're better than him because he wasted on his time on something not useful, something worthless.
And he made you feel important. Like, imagine someone just using their own time just to hate on you. Like, you are an important part of their day if they are ready to waste time just on you.
Yes. You see, a lot of people have troubles with this, like they start to feel sad and not want to play the game. But when this happens, they should like sometimes feel proud of themselves that they are important and that they are better than a lot of people. So next time somebody's toxic to you, you know that you're a better person than him. Unless you're also toxic then.
Are we allowed to be toxic to toxic people? Like, not necessarily be toxic as our trait, like have it a constant trait, but just in this moment, someone is being toxic to me, so I release my inner toxic self just to be toxic to them and then go back to being normal. Is it okay? Or should we be better than them? Like, keep them at this low level of being toxic to others and, ignore them.
You see, sometimes it is good to be toxic to toxic people if it was to defend the right of yourself or other people. Like, when you're defending other people who are getting bullied, you should be toxic to the toxic people to help them out. But if you're the one that's being bullied, then the best way is to ignore them and to show them how pathetic they are.
Okay, this method is easy when we are playing games online. But what about in real life? I mean, look at Bestie over here. Hi. Bestie met a lot of toxic people and they did not know how to handle this toxicity until they eventually lost it and resorted to therapy. So in Bestie's situation, where they had a toxic dog and a toxic partner and a toxic friend, just they keep surrounding themselves with toxic people. And recently, actually, Bestie went back to their partner and I told them not to. Like, they need to break it off indefinitely.
See, yes, this is actually the best way. When someone is being toxic to you in real life, you should just ignore them and act like you don't know they exist. Just ignore them.
But sometimes it's hard throwing away years of a relationship or years of a friendship because they are starting to act toxic or starting to act weird. How can I end something with toxic people without hurting myself or hurting them?
You see, if you're in a relationship with them for like years, then you should not instantly just ignore them. Okay, he says a bad word, no, I'm just gonna leave him. No, you should tell him that he did something wrong and he should not do it. Now, stay with him for a bit, brace yourself. If he becomes more and more toxic and you feel like he's starting to not enjoy his friendship with you, then you should just ignore him. You should start acting like you don't care about him anymore. And that way he will realize that he did something wrong and either try to apologize to you or he'll just leave you alone. And that's actually part of life. You'll see this happen a lot.
That works with friends. We can stop talking with friends or stop meeting with them if we feel like they are negatively affecting us. But for relationships, it's a different story because many people are married and living together, so it's a whole different story. But we can discuss it another session. I see that Bestie is getting sleepy. Thank you, Mr. Flappy, so much for attending our session today. We are so honored to have you, and I hope your advice and way of looking into life helped Bestie realize some things. I hope you attend our next session too, Bestie. And thank you again, Mr. Flappy.
Thank you for inviting me here.
Of course.